one final chance.
Yes.
Have you got a manuscriptal evidence for your fantasy Islamic Torah? Any manuscriptal evidence?
Allah is saying that when Dhul-Qarnayn he came, he really thought that a sun is setting on the mother of water.
No, don't. Excuse me, sir. Do not change the Quran. I get upset when you change the Quran, you know. Are you saying this is wrong? If you are, can you please openly, in a clear manner, declare Piqtal is not a valid Quran? Can you please say that?
Show us the Torah that Allah had, which was back in that time.
We show you.
Yeah, show us.
You lost it. I show
We
you.
lost it.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's Allah that could protect it.
Quran.
Allah was meant to
Brother
protect it.
Brother Darren.
So it gets lost because of Allah.
No,
And then finally we get to Muhammad.
Don't hide
When we
your
get
shame.
so
Don't
many
hide your
verses,
shame.
I'm not hiding in
Don't
shame.
hide your shame.
You are the one who
Allah
proclaimed
saves the Quran.
There is no,
Allah
it's
didn't say
absent.
Brother Darren.
It's totally absent. It's
Your book-
fictional. It
your book-
only exists in Muhammad's mind and Jibril, who came in the cave and tried to give him some gibberish.
Anyway, we
It's
have that book.
nonsense.
Brother Darren.
It's not there.
Anyway, we have
You
that
don't
book.
have it. Show it to me.
Anyway, we have the
Show
Quran.
it. Show
We
me.
have it.
Oh, you have the Quran.
Brother Darren, Brother Darren, excuse me, sir.
That's fine.
Excuse me, sir.
Allah could not
This is a
protect the
public
Torah.
place. Please make sense. This is a public place. Please make sense. Now, Brother Darren, the first 5 books here.
Show me the Torah.
One second, brother. One second.
Let's focus, let's focus.
One second. Focus here, please. Focus here, please. For the fact of this being the original Torah, we have several manuscriptal evidence. Brother Darren, Dead Sea Scrolls, the Septuagint,
Yep.
the Syrian Peshitta,
Yep. Sumerian.
the Samarian Pentateuch, the Masoretic text.
Okay.
All of these
That's right.
are ancient manuscriptal evidence
That's
for the
right.
fact that this is the true Tanakh.
That's right.
We have, fortunately, 2 Islamic scholars here.
No.
Wow. 2 Islamic scholars here. Scholars enough. Hey, wait. Scholars. What? No, give up. Are you taught by Zakir Naik? Then we should give you up now. No. But carefully, let's focus. We need to focus here. One second. We need to focus here. We have given at least 4 or 5 independent manuscriptal evidence for the fact that this is the Tanakh. For your fantasy Tanakh, Torah, is there any manuscriptal evidence, sir?
Yeah, he knows.
Well, that's exactly what I've asked you.
He knows.
Okay,
Show us
good.
evidence.
Listen, what you have here written maybe 1,000, 2,000 after the death of Moses.
He's dancing.
So, not me who's saying, I wasn't there.
he's
I was
dancing.
born in 86. I
Please
wasn't there.
note carefully. I've asked a particular question. He will ramble on for 2 or 3 minutes, not give an answer. Please note, for your fantasy Torah, is there any manuscriptal evidence?
Torah. Which Torah?
Your Torah.
The imaginary. Oh, excuse me, sir. I thought you earlier said this is not the Torah. Did he not say that? That this is not the Torah? Good. And that's exactly where my point is. I have evidence. We have given you evidence to suggest that this is the original Torah and this is the original Tanakh. If you have to contradict that, to say this is not the original ones, the question to you is, what manuscriptal evidence have you got for your fantasy Mickey Mouse Torah? Please.
Listen. We ask Saint Google.
Saint Google, yes, go on.
And we say when it's like a first Torah, it's a few thousand after.
Note carefully. Try and see if you would ever answer my question. Manuscriptal evidence for your imaginary Mickey Mouse Torah. Please.
They will never answer. Arul.
Try hard.
I can talk like you.
He knows.
All right. Do you know an answer, sir? Which Muslim here could give an answer? Muslims have been deceived for centuries. Muslims have been deceived to think, yes, sir. What's it, sir?
Anyone who believes that a man is a god is a stupid.
There we go. Talk about anything apart from the question at hand. Anything apart from the question at hand.
Warning.
Now, Westerners today,
Warning! Deflection!
people,
Warning!
Man, not God.
we need,
Deflection.
Brother Darren, we need to have a siren now. An alarm now. Every time there is a deflection, we need to sound the alarm. What's that? A list of Hebrew manuscripts. Yes, agreed. Yeah, the oldest complete. All right. So I asked him.
Mickey Mouse.
One second. Did you see what just happened? If anyone wants to capture this, I asked a simple question. The gentleman said, "What I hold here is not from the original Torah." I challenged him and I said, I can give him manuscriptal evidence. Betsy's clothes. One second, Brother Darren. I gave manuscriptal evidence.
That goes according
One
to
second.
your...
Darren, one second.
Of course, you are...
Darren,
Let me
one
say something in your...
Wait.
Presupposition.
One second.
Of course, he don't
Of
know.
course, according to your presupposition. You need to say that for Islam.
One second. Just one second. We have given manuscript. One second.
Talking about the original.
We asked the gentleman.
I agreed according
Darren,
to
one
your
second.
presupposition.
One second. I asked the gentleman for evidence of a Torah, which is a Mickey Mouse fantasy Torah, which is not what I'm holding in my hands. You know what you did? You know what you did? He did a Google search. The oldest Torah manuscript is the Google.
When?
What he said, hey,
Darren. Excuse me, sir.
in Birmingham,
One second.
they have our oldest Quran here in England.
We're talking about the
You
Torah.
don't know. You
have
have no
the
religion.
original language of Jesus
They
Christ?
saying Jesus is a
My dear friend,
They saying God
there is a
more
bit of
powerful.
confusion here.
But
Excuse me,
everybody
sir.
is on God. Everybody
We
loves God.
right now are not talking about.
He died for you, my friend, for your
Darren.
sins. Leviticus 17 verse 11.
Darren, what?
There is no atonement.
Don't go to the Bible.
Let's talk about it.
Darren.
Not all Muslims.
Darren, one second.
Forget about all Muslims.
Darren, one second. Excuse me, sir.
Somali will accept
Excuse me.
God, I can catch him, I beat him up, I put him in the game.
My dear friend.
Only stupid person would believe that.
Excuse me.
By his own creation.
Leviticus 17. Do you know what Leviticus 17 verse 11?
Darren.
Your sins. Your sins.
All right. Do you see what the problem is? Darren, one second. All right. Order. Excuse me. What? No, you did not. Now, I am asking about the Torah. The Torah, which is part of the Bible. Darren, I'm asking about the Torah.
I ask you to accept Islam.
No, one second. I am now not talking about your gibberish Quran. I do not care if your gibberish Quran has been preserved or not. That's not the focus now. The focus now, my dear friend. The focus is, I gave you manuscriptal evidence for the Torah that I hold today.
Where's the evidence?
What are... Well, listen to me again. Listen to me again. Listen.
You have evidence.
Dead Sea Scrolls. How many? He's trying to run away. Don't let him run away. Don't let him run away. Dead Sea Scrolls. Are you listening, sir? Dead Sea Scrolls. Number one.
La ilaha illallah.
There we go.
Rasulullah.
Did you see the pearl of wisdom there?
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
Did you hear the pearl of wisdom? I'm asking him questions. He is going on with his tape-recorded statements.
Yeah, make a difference.
He is singing the national anthem of Islam. That's what he is doing. 1 second, sir. So, one final chance. Have you got a manuscriptal evidence for your fantasy Islamic Torah? Any manuscriptal evidence?
He's got evidence.
Yes, yes, please. Go on.
Let me tell you what.
Who has the Torah?
What?
Who has the Torah?
Go. Listen to him again. One last chance. Manuscriptal evidence.
This Indian man, he had a lot of
We'll give him 2 minutes. 2 minutes time. Let's see if an answer comes out, even accidentally. Come on, go on.
Listen, I born 1986.
Oh, there we go.
Don't
Okay.
ask me about Torah 6,000 years ago. But what I know, the Jews told me. What I know is the Jews told me the Torah, the Jews saying, and Christians saying the Torah revealed to Moses.
Did you hear what
2,000
happened
years
there?
ago. But they wrote the Bible 2,000 years ago. Does that make sense?
Yes.
For me, that
Something makes sense to me now. This is what makes sense. I was always thinking.
4,000 years after Jesus. Man, they have a memory.
I was always thinking how Islam, when it's a total book.
Islam makes you smart like me. Not like a slave.
Exactly. Did you see that? Islam makes you smart like him. Ask a question, answer, give my own fantasy stories.
Christianity is simple. God came, white man cut him, beat him up, so die for you.
All right. Excuse me, sir. Your time is up.
Simple.
Excuse me, sir. Your time is up. Let this gentleman now speak. Come on, please. Come on, please. Okay, you stay there. Now, please let me know. I can get. Do you agree that I have the Torah here? What? You're asking me a question. Okay, if I answer you, can I then ask you my question? Depends. All right, go on.
If you believe this book has been perfectly preserved for thousands of years, why did God have to send new messengers?
All right, that's at least a sensible question. The question asked by this Muslim gentleman is, if this book has been perfectly preserved,
How come
the Joker is back. The Joker who can't give us one sensible answer is back. And all that he wants to say is that we haven't got something. He can't give evidence, but he is back. Back with vengeance. Your time is up, sir. Coming to you. The question that the young man here has asked. The question that this young man has asked is if. Oh, we need to move, I think, again. The question. Let's move. Sweetie, let's move. All right, please come here. The question our young friend has asked here is, if the Torah has been carefully preserved, why do we have perfectly preserved? Why do we have a New Testament? The answer to you is simple, sir. God of the Bible has revealed His plan in stages. In stages. In the Old Testament, God. No, let me finish. God, one step at a time. God has revealed His plan in stages. New Testament is the last of the stages of revelation in this regard. So the New Testament did not come to correct the Old Testament, but the New Testament came in as the last stage of revelation. Do you understand this?
Yes, but why don't the
Good.
Jews follow what
But
you
do
follow?
you understand this so far?
I understand it.
Good,
Why
very
don't the
good.
Jews follow what you follow?
Now, if you ask the question, why do the Jews not follow the New Testament? The answer to you is simply that you do not understand the history, and that is why you're saying what you're saying. The first church was Jewish. The first church was in Jerusalem. So to claim, I'm not saying they were Jews. I'm saying the first Christians were Jews.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yes. And so the point is, to say they did not follow is wrong.
Not they, you. Not they, you. They were Jews.
Why do I not follow what?
The Jewish law.
I follow everything in this way here. What? Why don't I follow what?
Don't follow the Jewish law.
The Jewish law. Well, the Jewish.
Then alluded to in the
The Jewish law was never given to me. The Jewish law is not given to me. What was given to me? 1 second. That was a while ago, sir.
Yeah, you asked me why.
Because I wanted to ask you some questions.
But why? Because my appearance. You think I'm Muslim?
No. If I thought, why would I ask you?
You asked me. Like I come.
I asked you.
I said, are you Muslim? Why do you think that? Why do you think I think that?
No. If I there's a bit of confusion here.
Answer me. Why do you think you think that?
1 second, sir.
Answer me.
I'll come to you in a bit.
No, answer me. Forget about the guy. He's gonna allow it. Answer me, please.
So, now
Are
coming
gonna
to you.
allow it, sir? Thank you so much.
Okay.
No, he agreed. Thank you so much.
So you want?
He come up to me. I said, "You Muslim?" Why?
I asked you, are you a Muslim?
Why?
When I ask a question, what does that mean, sir? When I ask a question, what does that mean? Does that mean I know an answer?
Why you want to know?
Okay, you are a Muslim and you have been given a question for a long time and you did not give an answer.
Answer me. Why you?
Do you understand that what I hold here is the original Torah? Do you understand that?
This is not the original. This is concocted Bible.
Here, did you hear what he said? This is a concocted Torah.
You're racist. You're racist. You're assuming on people false. You're racist. Racist.
This is my friend.
Don't assume on people
My
that
friend,
don't
wait.
people.
Did you hear what he said?
Racist.
Talk to me, my friend.
Does that sound like a joke to you?
Racist.
He seems to be a joker.
Racist.
What is your point?
He seems to be a joker.
What is your point?
What does he think of himself?
You're racist.
What is your point about
You're racist.
this
That's
being
why.
by
You're racist. You have no place here. You have no place here.
Everyone is calming down, sir. You can take care of yourself, no problem. Coming to you, sir. Yes. So you were saying, standing in a public place like us, like Speaker's Corner, you were saying the Torah I hold is not the original Torah.
No, it's not.
What evidence have you got? Tell me. No, don't. Tell me. Give me the names of the manuscripts that you have which support a Torah which is not this.
The problem
Please.
is that there is no manuscript to suggest
No,
that this is
listen.
original.
I believe what I
Don't
say
give me a
because-
belief
listen,
statement here.
listen.
I'm
Because
not
the
here for your belief statements.
Listen, my friend. The Quran told me that the previous books has been distorted. The Quran told me that.
Did you hear what just happened?
Yes.
I'm asking him for evidence. He is giving us belief statements.
That was revealed to Jesus, Prophet Jesus.
No. Evidence is different to belief statements. Someone can.
I'm telling you, the Quran said the previous scriptures has been distorted.
But did you hear what I said,
What did
sir?
he say? Tell me.
There is a difference between
Yeah.
an evidence and a belief statement.
The Quran.
The Quran is an evidence.
Wow. Listen. There is a difference between an evidence, and a belief statement. A belief statement does not need, or a belief statement could be made without providing for a more fundamental evidence to back it up. Hindus believe.
I don't buy it.
Hindus.
Because I'm telling you that the Quran is my source of what? My source of evidence. Okay, I'm a Muslim. I rely on the Quran. What the Quran says is what I believe.
How do you know the Quran is right? Please tell me. How do you know the Quran is right?
The Quran is right because it's a revelation from what? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
How do you know the Quran is right?
I know because the Quran have a falsification test. It's telling, we can prove that the Quran is a word of God.
The question asked is simple.
I'm telling you.
The question asked is simple. I'm not asking. You could do all sorts of things. I'm asking you, what have you done? How do you know if the Quran is true or not?
We're talking about the Old Testament first of all. The
No.
reason-
He wants to talk about the Quran. What do you want to talk about first?
I said the Quran.
Do you see what is happening with Muslims here?
Wait.
Talk about the Bible, they'll go to the Quran. Talk about the Quran, they'll come back to the Bible.
Wait, we're
And the reason for that is they cannot talk and give evidence about either of
Let
them.
me answer.
So you gentlemen, you need to note carefully.
Okay, can I answer?
What are you going to answer about
The
now?
Old Testament.
It's the Quran. That's
You're going to answer about the Bible now.
Yes, that's
So about the Quran, what is your...
You're changing topics.
I didn't change the topic, he changed the
Okay,
topic.
but we're talking originally about the...
You said you believe in the Quran. I'm asking you why. You said because the Quran is true. I asked you, why do you think the Quran is true?
I believe in the Quran is true because the Quran, if you look at the Quran, it gives us a falsification test about how to believe that it is the ways of what? God, okay? if you can,
Give me the falsification test.
If this book was not from God, you would have found a lot of contradictions. Which God? And you can see that the Quran contains no contradiction. Unlike the Bible. The Bible is full of contradictions. You can't deny that.
Do you believe the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water?
The Quran.
Do you think the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water? No, wait.
The Quran never said.
Do you think the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water?
The Quran never said the sun set in a muddy water.
Okay, what does it say then? What does it say? What does it say? Please. Yeah, you can go to the verse.
Bring the verse out. I can't remember.
Okay.
Listen, the Quran, Allah is talking about Dur Karnain when he was going and he went to he's talking about the encounter he encountered about the sun setting. You see, Allah is talking about a personal Durkheim point of view. It's not saying that
from his point of view.
Allah is telling us that sun sets.
No. Don't convince your Islamic brother. Convince me.
Let's read the verse. You said that it's wrong. I said that the Quran said that.
Yes, clearly.
Where does it say that? Let's see. Which translation?
Okay, read.
Where?
Here.
Let's
Start from 83, please.
They will ask you of Dhul Karnain. Say, I shall recite to you a remembrance of him. We made him strong in the land and gave him to everything a road. And he followed a road till when he reached the setting place of the sun. And he found it setting in a muddy spring and found a people of there. We say, oh, Dhul Karnain, either punish or show them kindness.
Who is speaking here?
Allah is narrating the story.
So Allah is speaking.
Allah is speaking to Muhammad about what Dhul Karnain encountered, saw. So Dhul Karnain.
So Allah,
listen, let me finish. Don't cut me off. Allah is saying that when Dhul Karnain he came, he really thought that a sun is setting on the muddy of water.
No. Don't. Excuse me, sir. Do not change the Quran. I get upset when you change the Quran, you know. I'm asking you to read the... No.
The same thing I'm saying.
Allah is narrating right the way through. Islamic Allah is narrating right the way through. Every single word here, according to you, is from the Islamic Allah. Not from Dhul Karnain, but from the Islamic Allah. Let's read. They will ask you of Dhul Karnain.
No, you already read it. You are repeating it. I said, so what is your point of view?
Let's read. Let's read carefully.
It's from his point
We made him strong. Whoa, wait. We made him. One second. We made him strong in the land and gave him everything, a road, and he followed a road. Who is saying who followed a road? Dhul Karnain. Allah, Islamic Allah is testifying that Dhul Karnain followed a road. 1 second. Islamic Allah goes on to then say, till when he reached the setting place of the sun. Islamic Allah is saying that Dhul Karnain reached the setting place of the sun. Who is saying that? Not Dhul Karnain, but the Islamic Allah. Please don't run away.
I'm not running away.
You ran away from the Old Testament.
Islamic Allah.
When you couldn't prove that
Islamic.
you ran away to the Quran.
Islamic Allah. No. What do you want,
are you
sir?
saying that Allah is saying that the sun was setting in the
No. Islamic Allah is saying that Dhul Karnain reached the setting place of the sun. It's a testimony of Islamic Allah, not Dhul Karnain, of Islamic Allah. So
Listen, one second.
Excuse me. Don't put words into the Quran. Don't do that.
That's what you're doing.
You are doing that, my friend. Allah is telling about the
Please read this again. Till when he reached the setting place of the sun. It doesn't say till when he reached what he thought was the setting place of the sun. That's not what it's saying.
It means.
That's
what it means.
Excuse me, sir. You can make up anything you want, but that is not the Quran.
It's a contradiction. It's a contradiction.
It is a silly statement which could not ever come from anyone who remotely knows anything about science. So clearly,
I'm talking about
clearly this cannot be from anyone apart from Mickey Mouse. So you need to deal with the
what
truth.
Did I tell you? I was talking about contradiction. Is it contradiction? You don't agree with that statement. I'm talking about.
How many of you here think the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water? How many? Any at all?
You told me.
How many of you think?
That's not true. He already said that's not
If someone says that to you, what would you think about the person? Excuse me, sir, please listen.
You go bring a
If
that is not contradiction.
anyone tells you,
It says that you don't believe in that statement. You are trying to twist that
if
statement.
anyone
Bring me
tells,
contradiction in the Quran. That's what I'm saying, my friend.
if anyone tells you that the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water, what would you say? You would say the person doesn't have a clue. That's what you would say, wouldn't you?
I told him.
But that is what the Islamic Allah says. That the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water. And that is where I ask all,
telling the truth.
please tell me, sir, does the sun set in a black muddy pool of water?
Arul,
Does the sun set in a black muddy pool of water? Excuse me. Oh, you see, Muslims can never answer questions.
see my debate with this
The
guy.
question to you is simple.
Are blown away. That's why when he sees the Bible.
Please blow me away again. Does the sun set in a black muddy pool of water? I am here waiting to be blown away.
Here, the debate here, if you want to debate, go over there.
I was talking
I
to
am
you.
waiting here to be blown away.
Why do I believe in the Quran? This isn't it.
Okay.
My friend, you asked me why did I believe in the Quran? And I told you the Quran throw out what? Falsification test about contradiction.
Falsification
I'm telling
test.
you, bring me a contradiction in the Quran. You go talking about the multiverse. I'm not
You're
interested
pushing
in
me.
that. No, you're
pushing me.
Why are you not telling me?
Okay.
Why? What are you doing?
Okay,
I know this guy. Wait a minute.
if anyone tells you
what we
that
gonna
the
do
sun
today?
sets in a black
Brothers and
muddy
sisters,
pool of water,
debate
you
here,
should give up
we want to
on
find
this.
out who is the creator. Because we Muslims, when you say Almighty God,
We Muslims do
we
not
say
answer
Allah
questions.
is the creator.
We
He
Muslims
created everything.
gate crash
So
parties and talk
he's gonna quote
nonsense.
from the
That's
Bible.
what we do.
And I'm going to quote from the Quran and the Bible and debunking and show everybody here that Almighty God,
Sun,
the God
does the
of
sun
Abraham,
set
the God
in
of
a
Isaac,
black
the God of
muddy
Jacob,
pool of
the God
water?
all the prophets, that one Lord created everything. Not Jesus, not the triune God. Here, the Bible
I
says-
haven't got a clue as to what he is
He's not going
saying.
to debate.
I'm trying to understand what he
He's not going to
says.
debate. He's panicking now. You're panicking.
I'm about to pee now.
Can we debate?
Terrified.
Can we debate?
Terrified
Can we
of
debate now?
the ignorance
You see-
that is at the park.
No, let's debate.
I'm about to cry.
Arul, let's debate.
I'm asking you a simple
Let's
question.
debate. We want to know who is the
Asking you
creator.
a simple
Who is the
question.
creator of the heavens and the earth? Who created everything? Is it the
I'm
Father of the
asking
Holy
you
Ghost?
a simple
Is it
question.
Jesus? Is it the God of the Abraham, Isaac, and the God of all the prophets in the Bible? Who is the creator?
Any answer to the sun setting in a black muddy pool of water?
I will answer it.
Because I saw you gate crash the party.
I'm going to answer it. No, Arul.
Gate crash the party.
Arul.
I'm trying to
He's
find
running
out
away.
an
He's the
answer
problem.
from you. I am running away. That is the problem. The sun setting
When they
in
see
a
the
black
Bible,
muddy pool
they
of
freak
water.
out. You see, when they see their Bibles, they freak out. Look, only one Quran. Who is the creator? He's not
Sun
who is the creator?
setting in a black
Allah is
muddy
the
pool of
creator
water.
of everything. Who is the creator?
Islamic Allah does not even exist.
Let's debate.
If he even existed, he does not know basic science.
Try to ask a brother.
Even the Chinese
I'm here.
from a long time ago
Arul,
could teach
you're
the
a waste.
Islamic Allah.
Have you studied your Bible?
Islamic Allah
Look at me,
thinks.
look at me in the eye. Have you studied your Bible?
Okay, look at you in the eye.
Bible.
Islamic
Panicking.
Allah,
Have you studied your Bible?
I'm looking at
I'm
you.
going to give you a Bible.
I'm
lesson.
looking at you. I'm looking at
Bible
you.
lesson.
Islamic
Have you
Allah,
studied the Bible?
I am looking at you.
Okay, have you studied the Bible?
Thus, the sun set in a black muddy pool of water.
Listen to me. You asked me a question, yeah?
Yes,
Okay,
answer.
listen to me. I'm going to answer the question, but first, the important thing is you want to know
First,
who is
I
the
need to run
creator.
on. The sun.
No, who is the creator?
Because Jesus washed my sins away.
That is true. And so,
These
my
minds
dear
are
friends, wasting time with people like these.
Him and you're panicking, wetting his pants, when they see the Bible, when I come here, see, when I go around, they see the Bible, they panic. They haven't studied the Bible. Who is the creator? We say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the creator?
You can say anything you want to say, sir, because you do not make sense in regards to where the sun sets.
No, who is the creator?
If you cannot make sense
Who is the
as to
creator?
where the sun sets, I wouldn't be surprised that if you came around and said you met Mickey Mouse. Wouldn't be surprised.
Who is the creator?
Our friend is back.
We want to know who is the creator. I'm going to go around.
John 3:16.
See all of them.
What?
Panic because
Please answer. Your time is up. Your time is up. Because you haven't answered.
I'm going to go now.
I'm.
Brothers, if you can see, I've been here for 1 year. Alhamdulillah.
He has been here for 1 year and many years speaking the same.
They freak out. They bring up one Quran here.
What's
Who
going
is
on?
your creator?
My God, Jesus Christ.
Jesus, can you do? Okay.
Can the creator say sun sets in a black muddy pool of water?
Did Jesus create you?
Can the creator say the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water?
We have a proper
Can he say that?
We're gonna have a proper debate.
Can the Quran,
Answer it.
excuse me sir, can the creator say that the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water?
I said, listen to me.
Can the creator say that the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water? Let me listen to your answer.
Let me talk. When I came here, you were asking a brother, put him a spot, a brother about this question. Listen, once you were asking a brother, a Muslim brother.
I'm eagerly waiting for the answer now.
I said, I will answer the question. But first,
Eagerly waiting for the answer.
Who is the creator?
Excuse me,
the creator?
excuse me, sir.
Let's quote from the scripture.
First,
And I'll
we
answer
are
your
saying that the Quran could not be from anyone who has gone through his primary school education. That's what we are saying first.
Listen to me.
The Quran could not be from anyone who has gone through his primary school education.
Arul, check our debate. He was shaking like a leaf. That's why when I came, now he's scared.
He's a joker, isn't he?
I'm a joker.
He's a joker.
Debate.
He thinks the entire world
Who
shakes
is a
before
joker?
him.
This kid, who is a joker?
I shake in front of
Who
ignorance.
is a joker here? I said, let's debate. What they do, they're good at asking questions. Only questions.
Questions, because you see,
Let's debate.
his problem is,
I said, let's debate. Not asking questions. Let's debate.
his problem,
Let's debate.
his problem is he cannot face questions.
They've been trained.
That is his
They have
problem.
been trained to ask Muslims
If you
questions.
cannot,
And I can ask him thousands of questions. He can answer it.
if you cannot answer simple
That's what you're
questions,
good at. That's all you're good at.
if you
You can't
can,
debate. You can't debate. You can't. Can you debate?
if you cannot answer simple questions, I do not have confidence
When I come
that
here,
you
the
can
Bible,
string
when they see
together
the freak
5
out.
statements
See,
at a time.
They don't believe the Bible.
When are you leaving?
You see, this guy's fake.
All
All
right,
fake.
my dear friends,
The cartoon. When I'm going to go to them now. One by
yes
one,
sir,
you see, they all
your
freak
time
out.
is up.
They
Your
all
time is
freak
up.
out.
The young gentleman
Aki,
has a
Aki,
question, please.
Aki.
What was it that you
Aki,
said?
Oh,
ask
whoa.
questions.
Yes, he's going to
That's what
ask
they're good
questions, please. Your time is up. You have not contributed anything meaningful to what we're talking about. Yes, sir.
What was it that you were saying about the
One sec, please leave her alone. Thank you. Yes, go on. I know. Yes, but she needs to focus here. Sorry. Go on.
everything in here goes back to God?
But she needs to focus here. Sorry.
Do you have a particular issue with the sun setting in the Quran, right? Do you believe everything in here comes from God? Like traces back to God at some point?
Ask me one question, your final question, because I'm not going through one by one what you have to say here.
Clearly you have a particular issue with the sun setting in the Quran. I want to ask you this question because Deuteronomy actually makes a literal statement about where the sun sets also.
What's that?
Deuteronomy 11:30, where it says, as you know, these mountains are across the Jordan, west of the road, towards the setting sun, near the great trees of Moreh, in the territory of these Canaanites living in the Arabah, in the vicinity of the Gilgal. So going back, it clearly mentions that the sun is setting towards the mountains across Jordan.
Yeah, towards, yes.
No, it doesn't say towards.
Where? What does it say? What does it say?
I'll repeat it again, word for word. You have a clear issue with...
Please. No. Ask me a question. Yes, go on. Yes.
You haven't taken
The
issue.
church is preaching.
suggest you go
Church is
in
preaching.
the Quran,
Church is preaching all this. Jesus never said that. The old prophets, the old prophets, they never said
Are
that.
across the Jordan, west of the road to the setting sun.
Yes.
It's a similar concept.
It's not a similar concept. Would you ever say the statement that the sun sets in the west? Would you ever use that statement as a valid statement? Would you ever do it?
What, the sun setting in direction?
Yes, sun sets in the west. But would you ever say the sun sets in a black muddy pool of water when you know, wait. So standing here you can say the sun sets in the west. That's a valid statement. And that is the kind of statement used here. But you would never say you go to a muddy pool and you see that the sun set in that black muddy pool. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yes. That's what we are talking about.
Yeah, I know, but
So you're not bringing a comparable thing.
of course it's comparable.
It's not.
If you're
It's
at a
not.
lake, if you're at a lake or an ocean or a river, the sun sets in the water. Not quite literally.
No.
When you look, there's the horizon.
From where? From where?
The sun's always in the sky, but the horizon can.
No, but from where do you say that?
What do you mean where?
From where can you say that?
From land.
From a distance. If you're standing from a distance, you can say the sun is setting in that direction. You can. But when you're following the sun, you say you're following the sun. Well, that's what you're saying.
It says going to the people. that are in
Read
the
carefully.
direction of the sun.
Read carefully.
Before I continue, can you speak Arabic?
I can't.
Exactly, that's the issue.
No, that's not the issue. Are you saying this Quran is meaningless? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
it's an interpretation. I can
No.
read Arabic.
Are you saying this Quran is meaningless?
Meaningless.
Yeah.
No, it's an
Right, okay.
interpretation.
If no.
I know,
But
you can't use that to me. It doesn't
who is this? Where? Who is this? Please read this. Please read this.
Muhammad Pickford, not Allah.
If you said that, why do they give this around?
So that we can understand the Quran in English. But
Let's try and understand in English. Yeah. Read this. What's that? Yeah. Well, we'll try and see. That's what we're seeing. Please read this. We made him strong in the land and gave him to everything a road, and he followed a road till he is following. He is going there. He followed a road till when he reached. He's not talking about him saying the sun is setting in the west. When he reached the setting place of the sun. It's not talking about the direction in which it sets. It's not talking about the direction in which it sets. It's talking about where it sets. When you go there. Are you saying this is wrong? If you are, can you please openly, in a clear manner, declare Pickthall is not a valid Quran? Can you please say that? Please, can you say that? That's what?
I just want to research it so I can bring the Arabic to you.
Now, but before you do that, if you think this is a wrong translation,
I don't think it's wrong.
could you please say Pickthall's translation is wrong? Don't use it,
I didn't say
please.
that. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say
Okay, in that case, you are saying this is right. My friend, in that case, you are saying this is right. Are you listening? Okay. Are you saying this is right translation or not?
I didn't say any of that. You're saying that.
Are you? What are your thoughts? Is this a right translation
Why are you
or
asking that
not?
question? I didn't allude to that.
Are you now terrified to answer this simple question?
It's not simple.
Is this a right translation or not?
It's interpretation.
Is this a right translation or not?
I'm not.
Is this a good translation or not?
It's a good translation.
So it is a good translation.
Interpretation. It's not the Arabic.
But is it a good translation?
You doesn't fit this.
Is it a good translation?
Why are you asking me that question?
Okay, so can you please let everyone know, please here sir, that the glorious Quran, the meaning of the glorious Quran as given by Muhammad Marmaluk Pickthall, 1 second, by the Islamic Dawah Center International is wrong. Please can you say this? Please, no. Please can you say this?
I can't say what you want me to say.
In other words, you will neither say this nor say that. When you find problems in the Quran, run away. Say that this is not a good translation.
Allah is one. Can you say
This is
Allah
not
is
the
one?
Quran.
Why would I say Islamic Allah doesn't even exist? So, did you see the problem? The problem is,
the Quran.
they come here,
Quran.
when it is time to defend the Quran, they say this is not a Quran. This is not a good translation. They say when it is time to defend that this is not a good translation. But when I ask you, could you say that this is not a good translation? He would say no and move away because he knows he can't talk against the Islamic Dawah
This is
Society
not the Quran.
International.
You need to stop calling the Quran. It's not the Quran.
No, sir. Why do you want to see this, sir? Why do you want to see this, sir?
I want to see it. Can I just see it?
Why?